Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajanadanjana Yashodanandana Brajajanadanjana Hey Yashodanandana Brajajanadanjana Oh Yashodanandana Brajajanadanjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Bolo Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Hey Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Oh Yashodanandana Brajajanadanjana Hey Yashodanandana Brajajanadanjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Oh Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Shri Radhe Oh Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Shri Radhe Radhe Kala Chanji Radhe Kala Chanji Oh Radhe Radhe Kala Chanji Radhe 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 Kala Chanji Shri Radhe Oh Radhe Radhe Kala Chanji Radhe 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 Kala Chanji Shri Radhe Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Oh Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Harinama Sankirtana ki. So today is the most auspicious appearance of Advaita Acharya. So it's also Caitanya Caritamrta class day. You know, in Mayapur, they have Advaita Acharya. He has a beard, and it's pure white. So when my wife looked out the window, she said, "See that? It's Advaita Acharya's appearance day today." So there's so much nectar we can talk about the Lord incarnations and the Lord's devotees. Sometimes it's explained that, like Mataji said in the class yesterday, that just a drop of the gopis' love for Krishna, we can all the devotees of all the universes can swim in one drop of the devotion of the gopis. So just a drop of the glories of the Lord can inundate our consciousness with so much devotion. So we'll read from Caitanya Caritamrta, chapter or Adi 1, chapter 6, I think, is. Who can guess what the chapter 6 is titled? The Glories of Advaita Acharya. How'd you know? Have you read it before? Who's read this chapter before? You have, Govinda? With your family? Mishra Bhagavan and Govinda. You haven't read? Have you read the CC? Okay. Prabhupada's given us unlimited books to dive into. So do we have the mic? Let's read starting with text 1.
I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Advaita Acharya, whose activities are all wonderful. By his mercy, even a foolish person can describe his characteristics.
I take that to heart.
All glories to Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Acharya. And all glories to all the devotees of Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
In 5 verses, I have described the principle of Lord Nityananda. Then in the following 2 verses, I describe the glories of Advaita Acharya.
Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya.
So who's he an incarnation of? Okay, just checking if we're listening.
Because he's non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he's called Advaita. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of the Lord's devotee. Therefore, I take shelter of him.
Sri Advaita Acharya is indeed directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. His glory is beyond the conception of ordinary living beings. Okay, I'll read one more. Mahavishnu performs all the functions for the creation of the universes. Sri Advaita Acharya is his direct incarnation.
That Purusha creates and maintains with his external energy. He creates innumerable universes in his pastimes. By his will, he manifests himself in unlimited forms, in which he enters each and every universe.
No.
Sri Advaita Acharya is a plenary part of that Purusha and so is not different from him. Indeed, Sri Advaita Acharya is not separate but is another form of that Purusha. He, Advaita Acharya, helps in the pastimes of the Purusha with whose material energy and by whose will he creates innumerable universes.
Being a reservoir of all auspicious attributes, Sri Advaita Acharya is all auspicious for the world. His characteristics, activities, and name are always auspicious.
Let's read the purport there.
Sri Advaita Prabhu, who is an incarnation of Mahavishnu, is an Acharya or teacher. All his activities and all the other activities of Vishnu are auspicious. Anyone who can view the all auspiciousness in the pastimes of Lord Vishnu also become auspicious simultaneously. Therefore, since Lord Vishnu is the fountainhead of auspiciousness, anyone who is attracted by the devotional service of Lord Vishnu can render the greatest service to human society. Rejected persons of the material world who refuse to understand pure devotional service as the eternal function of the living entities and as actual liberation of the living being from conditioned life become bereft of all devotional service because of their poor fund of knowledge.
In the teachings of Advaita Prabhu, there is no question of fruitative activities or impersonal liberation. Bewildered by the spell of the material energy, our persons who could not understand that Advaita Prabhu is non-different from Vishnu wanted to follow him with their impersonal conceptions. The attempt of Advaita Prabhu to punish them is also auspicious. Lord Vishnu and his activities can bestow all good fortune directly and indirectly. In other words, being favored by Lord Vishnu and being punished by Lord Vishnu are one and the same because all the activities of Vishnu are absolute. According to some, Mangala was another name of Advaita Prabhu, as the casual incarnation or Lord Vishnu's incarnation. As the causal incarnation or Lord Vishnu's incarnation for a particular occasion. He is the supply agent or ingredient in material nature. However, he is never to be considered material. All his activities are spiritual. Anyone who hears about and glorifies him becomes glorified himself. For such activities, free one from all kinds of misfortune. One should not invest any material contamination or impersonalism in the Vishnu form. Everyone should try to understand the real identity of Lord Vishnu, for by such knowledge one can attain the highest stage of perfection.
So now we'll do the Mangala Charna, and then I'll speak a little about Advaita Charya, and we'll do a little more reading also. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Caitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So as we know, Caitanya Caritamrta by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he puts all of the whole book is fluffing out just, I think, 11 verses, is it? So, like in this chapter here, the glories of Advaita Charya, it says that in the beginning I have spoken 2 verses, and I'll just read those verses if I can find them real fast. Okay. The next two verses describe the truth of Advaita Prabhu, and the following verse describes the Panchatattva, the Lord, his plenary portion, his incarnation, his energies, and his devotees. So that wasn't, it looks like there's more verses until those two verses. Hmm? Yeah. Which one? 12? Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. So we got Adi Lila, chapter 1, text 12, 13, and 14 we'll read here. Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of the Lord's devotee. Therefore I take shelter of him. Then this is a very popular verse quoted in the Mangala Charna prayers. If you know it, let's say Panchatattvatmaktam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktyavataram Bhaktyakhyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam. I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is non-different from his features as a devotee, devotional incarnation, devotional manifestation, pure devotee, and devotional energy. So, in Krishna consciousness, that Achinta Beda Beda Tattva verse is quoted to describe everything like that we can't describe, right? Because in Krishna consciousness, we're talking about how God is one, that we believe in one supreme personality of Godhead. But here is the Panchatattva, the five truths, where the Lord is coming as Lord Caitanya is who, from the kids' side, is a combined form of, listening? Lord Caitanya is a combined form of, who's that, a kid? Radha and Krishna. And Nityananda is, 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 Balaram. And Advaitacharya, we're hearing, is Gadadhar Pandit is Srivas Narada Muni. So out of the 5, 4 of them are God. Well, we believe in one God, right? So, yeah, Achinta Beda Beda Tattva. Inconceivably, simultaneously, one and different is the whole philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So just like today we're celebrating Mahavishnu, Advaitacharya's appearance day, who's in further explanations we'll hear that he's also the combined form of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. So that's also inconceivable. Sadashiva, also Shiva is also non-different from God, but different, right? It's like, it's explained in the Brahma Samhita that it's like milk turned into yogurt. So it is non-different, but different. So, as we know, Mahavishnu, from the kids, Vrinda, what does Mahavishnu do? Do you know? That's your job, Prabhu. That's your... He said, eats Mahaprasad. So when he exhales, what happens? Unlimited universes come out of his pores. Just imagine how big this Mahavishnu is. Inconceivably huge, that unlimited. He's lying in the causal ocean. Is it? Or is that? No? Cause that. And then the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu also lies in. Is that called causal too or no? Okay. Just so Mahavishnu lies in his own perspiration, which is called the causal ocean. And he's in like a dreaming state. And as he exhales, unlimited universes emanate from his pores. And then into each universe he expands himself again, fills up that universe halfway with his own perspiration, lies down on Anantashesh, that's on the perspiration of the Lord, and then expands himself, that's Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then expands himself again as the Paramatma in the heart of every living entity as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, and he has his own planet that's the ocean of milk, right? Shvetadweep. And then expands himself into the heart of every living entity and in every atom and in between every atom. And as we see here, it's explained that Mahavishnu glances at the Mahatattva, right? That glance is called Shambhu. That glance is a personality. That glance is Shiva. And the material energy itself is personified as his consort, Prakriti, right? So it's explained that from Mahavishnu emanates the Mahatattva, right? The subtle unmanifested form, or the subtle unmanifested ingredients of material nature. And when Mahavishnu glances on the Mahatattva, then Pradhan, or then it's activated by the 3 modes of material nature with time, and I forgot the exact scientific breakdown of creation. But then it's explained that, like we're hearing here, that Mahavishnu is creates material energy itself, and is the elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, everything is his energy. And in that role, he's Advaita. Advaita means one, right? Non-different. So in one sense, everything is Krishna's energy, so everything is Krishna. But there's also like this Achinta Beda Tattva. We have to see the distinction between the Lord and his energy. And Advaitacharya is as those two names. Advaita is non-different. He's one. He's God. And Acharya, he comes as a teacher, one who teaches by his example. So when he comes as Advaita Acharya, although he's non-different from Mahavishnu, who's the cause of all causes, he's in the role of the devotee. And in this role, he's seeing how the people of the world are forgetting Krishna. And that hurts his heart, right? So when he's thinking of how can I remind the forgetful living entities of Krishna, a verse comes to his mind from the Gautamiya, how do you say that? Gautamiya Upanishad. It comes to his mind, he's reminded that if one offers with me love and devotion a tulsi leaf, water to the Shalagram Shila, then I become indebted to that person. Just like Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I will accept it. So we'll read a few verses in the chapter 3, where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami on text 96, Adi 3:96. This is where Advaita Acharya, although he's God himself, he's still thinking another God. I mean, Lord Chaitanya, he has to petition. He's thinking, I have to petition. The only one that can do this is Lord Chaitanya. He's Mahavishnu. He's worshipping the Shalagram Shila. Shalagram Shila is also non-different from Krishna. So it gets Krishna is coming in many and unlimited forms to give us mercy. Okay, so where are we? Advaita Acharya Advaita Acharya having appeared, he found the world devoid of devotional service to Shri Krishna because people were engrossed in material affairs. Everyone was engaged in material enjoyment, whether sinful or virtuous. No one was interested in the transcendental service of the Lord, which can give total relief from the repetition of birth and death. Seeing the activities of the world, the Acharya felt compassion and began to ponder how he could act for the people's benefit. Advaita Acharya thought, if Sri Krishna were to appear as an incarnation, he himself could preach devotion by his personal example. In this age of Kali, there is no religion other than the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. But how in this age will the Lord appear as an incarnation? Can you give the mic to Anuradha to chant the Bengali verses here? 100. You can chant the rest. Yeah, keep chanting. I'll do the English, you do the Bengali.
100?
Yeah.
Just give me a moment. নামা বিনু কলি কালে ধর্মা নাহি আর কলি কালে কইছে হবে কৃষ্ণ অবতার.
In this age of Kali, there is no religion other than the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. But how in this age will the Lord appear as an incarnation?
শুদ্ধভাবে করিবা কৃষ্ণার আরাধনা নিরন্তর সাধ্য নিয়ে করিবে নিবেদনা.
I shall worship Krishna in a purified state of mind. I shall constantly petition him in humbleness.
আনিয়া কৃষ্ণেরে করো কীর্তন সংসার তবে সেই অদ্বৈতা নামা সফল আমার.
My name Advaita will be fitting if I am able to induce Krishna to inaugurate the movement of the chanting of the holy name.
কৃষ্ণ বশ করিবেন কোন আরাধনে বিচারিতে এক শ্লোক আইলা তার মনে
While he was thinking about how to propitiate Krishna by worship, the following verse came to his mind. You can go.
Okay. तुलसीदलमात्रेण जलस्य चुलुकेन वा विक्रीणीते स्वम् आत्मानं भक्तभ्यो भक्तवत्सला.
Shri Krishna, who is very affectionate towards his devotees, sells himself to a devotee who offers him merely a tulsi leaf and a palmful of water. This is a verse from the Gautamiya Tantra.
এই শ্লোকার্থ আচার্য করেন বিচারণা কৃষ্ণকে তুলসী জল দেয় যেই জনা তারক্ষণ শোধিতে কৃষ্ণ করেন চিন্তন জল তুলসীর সম কিছু ঘরে নাহি ধন.
Advaita Acharya considered the meaning of the verse in this way. Not finding any way to repay the debt he owes to one who offers him a tulsi leaf and water, Lord Krishna thinks, there is no wealth in my possession that is equal to a tulsi leaf and water.
তবে আত্মা বেচি করে ঋণের শোধন এত ভাবি আচার্য করেন আরাধন.
Thus the Lord liquidates the debt by offering himself to the devotee. Considering in this way, the Acharya began worshipping the Lord. Let me read the purport. Through devotional service, one can easily please Lord Krishna with a leaf of the tulsi plant and a little water. As the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 9:26, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or some water, patram pushpam phalam toyam, when offered with devotion, very much pleases him. He universally accepts the services of his devotees. Even the poorest of devotees in any part of the world can secure a small flower, fruit or leaf, and a little water. And if these offerings, and especially tulsi leaves and Ganges water, are offered to Krishna with devotion, he is very satisfied. It is said that Krishna is so much pleased by such devotional service that he offers himself to his devotee in exchange for it. Srila Advaita Acharya knew this fact, and therefore he decided to call for the Supreme, for the personality of Godhead Krishna to descend by worshipping the Lord with tulasi leaves and the water of the Ganges. Carry on, yeah.
গঙ্গা জল তুলসী মঞ্জরি অনুক্ষণ কৃষ্ণ পাদ পদ্মা ভাবি করে সমর্পণ.
Thinking of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, he constantly offered tulsi buds and water from the Ganges.
কৃষ্ণের আহ্বান করে করি অহংকার এই মতে কৃষ্ণে করিলা অবতার.
He appealed to Sri Krishna with loud calls, and thus made it possible for Krishna to appear.
চৈতন্যের অবতার এই মুখ্য হেতু ভক্তের ইচ্ছায় অবতরে ধর্ম সেতু.
Therefore, the principal reason for Sri Chaitanya's descent is this appeal by Advaita Acharya. The Lord, the protector of religion, appears by the desire of his devotee.
Sanskrit one, you want to read?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know the meter. I'm not sure of the meter. Let me check. Tam bhakti yoga paribhavitarita. You know the
Bhakti yoga paribhavita krit no tam bhakti yoga paribhavita krit saroja
Shitapato nanu natha pumsam yad yaddhiyata urugaya bibhayanti tat tat prabhu prayase sad anugrahaya.
O my Lord, you always dwell in the vision and hearing of your pure devotees. You also live in their lotus-like hearts, which are purified by devotional service. O my Lord, who are glorified by exalted prayers, you show special favor to your devotees by manifesting yourself in the eternal forms in which they welcome you. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.9.11. So as we see, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami makes a point and always gives a praman, gives the shastric reference. Okay, let's finish the last 3 verses here. Go ahead with the Bengali.
এই শ্লোকের অর্থ নাহি সংক্ষেপেরও সার ভকতেরও ইচ্ছায় কৃষ্ণার সর্ব অবতার.
The essence of the meaning of this verse is that Lord Krishna appears in all his innumerable eternal forms because of the desires of his pure devotees.
চতুর্থ শ্লোকেরও অর্থ হইল সুনিশ্চিতে সর্বতীর্ণ হইলা গৌর প্রেম প্রকাশিতে.
Thus I have surely determined the meaning of the 4th verse. Lord Gauranga, Lord Caitanya appeared as an incarnation to preach unalloyed love of God.
শ্রীরূপ রঘুনাথ পদে যার আশ চৈতন্য চরিতামৃতা কহে কৃষ্ণ দাস.
Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Caitanya Charitamrta, following in their footsteps. Hari Om Tat Sat. So, this is, we owe we owe everything we know of Krishna to revelation by the pure devotees, right? We wouldn't, like that I'm able to talk about Advaita Acharya, that he's Mahavishnu, that Advaita Acharya brought Lord Chaitanya, that Lord Chaitanya is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. What is my adhikar? What is my realization of this? No, because Prabhupada is revealed through the chain of disciplic succession of realized beings. We have insight and we have been given the opportunity to reawaken our relationship with Krishna and the sambandha, the abhideya, the prayojana, everything. The knowledge of our relationship with the Lord, how to act in devotional service to the Lord, and then the perfection of that is all given by the Guru. And we owe everything to Srila Prabhupada. And he's given us so much. Practically, he once asked a devotee, how many books do I have? And about how many verses are in these books? And then Prabhupada said, so practically I have given you more than you can absorb in one lifetime. Just like, I was asked to give class today, and I was looking at the verses in the Chaitanya Charitamrta, and I realized, oh my God, I think I've been practicing Krishna consciousness without consciousness. I mean, I think I've forgotten about Lord Chaitanya and Lord Chaitanya's associates, but that's the blessing of Krishna consciousness, is that the devotee association, they remind us of Krishna, right? And it's such a glorious, just like outside the material, whenever I come on days like this, you come out outside, there's not one car on the street, basically. There's snow everywhere. Then you come in here and the deities are dressed in outfits with flowers on them. They're decorated with varieties of flowers and being offered. It's like springtime. Well, just like a few days ago was Vashant Panchami, right? That's the beginning of spring. Where? Maybe not here, but here we're celebrating. So this is on my level. Okay, this is transcendental. They're not in the snow. They're not cold. They're smiling in the flower gardens of Vrindavan, engaged in their pastimes. So devotional service is the opportunity more and more to enter into the service with the Lord and transcend the miseries of the material existence. And Advaita Acharya, although in one role as Advaita, Mahavishnu, creating the whole material universe for the living entities to play out their free will, still he comes again as the Acharya. He comes as, and with compassion he gives the way for all of us to get out. Although he created the material energy, created the whole circumstance, he's now creating a way for all of us to get out of the entanglement of the sufferings of repeated birth and death. By, first of all, what was he thinking? I have to bring Lord Chaitanya. There's only one person that can do this job. Not even myself. I'm Mahavishnu. I'm not able to give what Lord Chaitanya needs to give. So it's all part of the big scheme of things. It's what I found interesting also was that although we believe that God is one, Lord Chaitanya and expands, right? Or Krishna expands. Why? Rasovai sa. He expands to relish pleasure. So although Krishna, and then the different aspects, it's just like we're one small living entity, but we have many facets to our personality, right? Some with our kids, we may be a certain way. Even with one kid, we may be a little different. Or even with one child at a certain time, we act in a certain mood, then in a different mood. Just like they say that the Vaishnava is soft as a rose and hard as a thunderbolt. So there's many varieties of moods in one small jiva. What to speak of the Lord? So the Lord expands his form in order to enjoy the different moods and expressions of his desires. So just like the first expansion, or sometimes they say the first is Balaram, right? And Balaram in the Panchatattva becomes Nityananda. Or you can't even say becomes, because they're all eternal. But this other pastime, there's in the chapter up ahead, there's one chapter where Lord Chaitanya goes and stays at Advaita Acharya's house. And Advaita Acharya invites Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya for lunch. So I was thinking, like, okay, we believe in one God, but now it's God Advaita Acharya, who's Mahavishnu, is inviting Lord Chaitanya, who's also God, and is also inviting Lord Nityananda, and they all have different personalities, in a sense. I mean, different, And do we know this pastime? Nainanvita, do you know what happened when Advaita Acharya invited Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda to his house for prasadam? You remember, devotees? And Lord Chaitanya, what was his mood? Yeah, so everybody had a different mood. Advaita Acharya invited them, and knowing that Lord Chaitanya was in the mood of a sannyasi, he said, we just cooked a palmful of wet vegetables. So please come, like thinking, okay, it's not going to be elaborate. And then in the chapter, I request everybody, today is a snowy day, we can just have an Advaita Acharya day, go back to the Caitanya Caritamrta at your homes, find out all the different chapters where Advaita, you can go to the back of the book and look up Advaita Acharya, and it'll tell you all the places that Advaitacharya is mentioned, and then you can do that. Then also the Chaitanya Bhagavat is many glorious things about it. And then you can also look up lectures by your favorite speakers. Like when I was asked to give class, I was reminded about when I was a brahmachari and I'd hear my guru, His Holiness Radhanath Swami, talk about Advaitacharya and his appearance days. So I listened to a little bit of one lecture. So yeah, we can have an Advaitacharya absorption. Yeah, Advaita, we're always Krishna conscious. Today we can be Advaitacharya conscious. So Advaitacharya invited Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya for prasad. And when they came, they had been fasting for 3 days. And Lord Chaitanya saw that there was 3 plates with huge amounts of prasadam on each plate. And he wasn't sure, is that an offering? Is that all an offering, or is that all for distribution? Or and Lord Chaitanya said, basically said, Advaitacharya said, don't worry your mind about it. You just sit down, and I'm going to distribute the prasad. I will feed you. So please, the loving exchanges are very. Yeah, I recommend reading that chapter. I think it's Madhya Lila chapter 3. So Lord Chaitanya said, I can't eat, a sannyasi can't eat all this opulent variety of foods. And Advaitacharya, again, brings up another form of the Lord. He said, don't try to trick me with this jugglery of words. In Jagannath Puri, as Jagannath, you eat 54 times a day. So just sit down and stop talking and eat, is what he told them. And then when Nityananda saw the amount of food, he said, what is this? I've been fasting for 3 days, and today it looks like I won't be, it is another fast day for me. I won't be able to fill half my belly with that. And in the chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes all the different preparations, so elaborate, and Prabhupada says in the purport that I forgot the exact word, the writers of cookbooks in our ISKCON should take note of this and add this to their recipe books. So in case anybody is thinking about doing it, it's chapter 3, Madhya Lila. You can at least try to cook it, find out from Bengali people that know all the different preparations. So then, Lord Chaitanya was eating, and Advaitacharya, when a bowl would become half empty, Lord Chaitanya would fill it up again. And then Lord Chaitanya was like, how much can I eat? And Lord Advaitacharya said, just whenever it's filled up, eat a little bit of that and then leave the rest. And then Lord Chaitanya was like, well, I can't leave remnants. And then Advaitacharya just said, just eat. And he was saying that a sannyasi doesn't leave remnants. And then Nityananda was saying that you have brought me here to feed me and then only given me this little amount of food. And pretending to be angry, he took a palmful of rice and threw it. And some of the rice hit Advaitacharya and stuck to his leg. And Advaitacharya immediately started dancing, thinking that he'd become purified by the touch of Mahaprasadam. So, want the mic? Can you give it to Mishra Bhagavan? He's got some insight. He might have been there at this prasadam feast.
Just that Lord Chaitanya instigated the Lord Nityananda and Advaitacharya. Advaitacharya's last words before Lord Nityananda threw the rice at him was, "You are a reject Paramahamsa, and you've accepted the renounced order of life just to fill your belly."
Yeah, right.
And that caused the rice to start flying.
Yeah, it's also explained that one who takes sides, thinking, they're arguing, I'm on Nityananda's side. Yeah, he did the right thing. And then others, I'm on Advaita's side. He's acting wild. And then you can't take sides because they're just having loving exchanges. Like I said, they're all different manifestations of the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, enjoying. Even so much that, I found it touching and also like interesting and amazing how in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, later, a Lord Chaitanya, in his younger years, he didn't manifest himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead or even as a devotee. He was a logician and a logic teacher and a grammar teacher. Even so much so that when Lord Chaitanya was walking in Navadvip with his students, and he would see, a devotee would see him, the devotees would turn the opposite direction or try to go to the other side of the street because they know, this Nimai Pandit, he's going to try to argue logic with me, and I don't want to waste my time talking, about these things. They would see Lord Chaitanya or Nimai Pandit like that, and then Nimai would see them, and then he said, okay, you just wait. One day you will run to me, and you won't ever want to leave my association. So when he manifested himself as a devotee, the devotees didn't want to give up his association for anything, so much so that, like at this meeting when Advaitacharya invited Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda to his house, Lord Chaitanya said, okay, now I will go to Puri. And Advaitacharya begged him, please, just can you stay 2 or 4 more days? In Chaitanya Charitamrta, it's always like that. It's like 3 or 5, 2 or 4. It's not like, I like that part too. So Lord Chaitanya, as we know, just like it's said here, that he came because of the pleas and the desires of Advaitacharya. That the Lord is moved and controlled by the love of his devotees. So the Lord Chaitanya agreed and stayed 2 more days. But then when he went to leave, all the devotees that had come there, actually he was there for more than 10 days, and Advaitacharya held a festival every day. And he fed him like that first day, but then they brought Mother Sachi, Lord Chaitanya's mother, in a palanquin. And when she came, she wanted to cook for the Lord every day. And it said, it's a very touching part also that, although he's a sannyasi, when she came, Lord Chaitanya paid his full obeisances to his mother, and she took him on her lap, and she was kissing his face and crying tears, and her tears were bathing his body, and Lord Chaitanya begged for her forgiveness, that he said, I don't know, but in madness I've gone and take sannyas when my body is your property. I came from you. I was inside of you. It was like, you tell me what I should do, where I should stay, and what I shall do. I will do whatever you say. So considering the, Mother Sachi, considering the circumstances, she said that once somebody takes sannyas, they shouldn't be with their family, but please stay in Puri. Make that your base. That way, like Puri and Mayapur and Navadvip are like 2 rooms in the same house. People are always coming and going, so I will hear news of you, so please make that your base. And he agreed. But what I was saying was, what I found fascinating was, although Advaitacharya, he's God, Mahavishnu, and still when Lord Chaitanya left, he wept. He went unconscious, weeping in separation from Lord Chaitanya. And all the devotees also, there was a loud roar of crying. And Advaitacharya went with Lord Chaitanya some distance, and then Lord Chaitanya, with folded hands, he said, please, you go back and be with the devotees and give them strength. Otherwise, if you're acting like this, then how will they even survive? So yeah, these loving exchanges between the Lord and his devotees are our guide light, right? When we hear about them, we feel inspired that this is what Krishna consciousness is. And that's why Chaitanya Charitamrta is so inspiring to me and to the devotees, because it's like what we're doing, right? It's exactly, sometimes we may read Bhagavatam pastimes and it's like, from bygone ages, as they say, or the, different yugas, the practice may be different. But this was just 500 years ago, and the exact same activities that Lord Chaitanya was doing with his devotees, we're also following in their footsteps. Prabhupada has asked us to chant and dance and take prasad, and that was all Advaita Acharya was doing. It said that he was holding a festival every day and feeding the Lord, and then chanting for at least 3 hours. And Prabhupada says in a purport that all of our householders should do the same thing, that we should hold kirtan and talks about Krishna and distribute prasad, but he said for at least 3 hours, because that was exactly in the purport. So, yeah, we are eternally indebted to Advaita Acharya, and we beg him on his holy auspicious appearance day to infuse our devotion with a particle of his, just like what did he do? He thought, how can I bring the Lord? And a verse came to his mind, and he petitioned the Lord by his loud callings of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the simple act of offering a leaf and water to his Shalagram Shila. And the Lord was purchased, so to speak. The Lord agreed to appear. So similarly in our own devotional process, we are doing the same thing. We can't do it on our own. We need the presence of Lord Chaitanya in our hearts, just like that one verse that said, may the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya, be present in the innermost chambers of your heart. So we need the presence of the Lord, we need the guidance of the Lord's devotees, and we're like begging, just like Advaita Acharya. He cried out, just like in the one chapter of the Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. I'm drawing a blank. Lord Chaitanya, he told his devotee Ramai Pandit, he said, go to Advaita Acharya and tell him that he who you cried for, he who you fasted for, he who you petitioned to come has arrived, and I want you to come and be with me. And Advaita Acharya, hearing this, he said he was overwhelmed, and with his wife, Sita Devi, Advaita Acharya and his wife got all the paraphernalia for worshiping Lord Chaitanya, and then they went and they said, but if he's really here, then he will call for me again. I'm going to go to the house of Nandanacharya. And actually, before Ramai Pandit came, Advaita Acharya came to the door, and he said, I know you have come to bring me to Lord Chaitanya, before he spoke even, and he just, with folded hands, he just said, please get the paraphernalia for his worship. And then, so he hid, Advaita Acharya, doing this to show the world that he's non-different from the all-omniscient personality of Godhead, the super soul, who's in everyone's heart. When Ramai Pandit came back to tell Lord Chaitanya about what happened, he said, I know Advaita Acharya is in the house of Nandanacharya, tell him to come. And Advaita Acharya came and worshipped. But what I was trying to get at was like what Lord Chaitanya said. He called him Nada. I forgot. Is that how you pronounce it? Nada. And why did he do that? Why is that one of his names? Do you remember? Yeah, I forgot to. So Lord Chaitanya was saying, he who you cried for, he who you fasted for, I am here. So in this mood, everything we do in devotional service is for the same thing. why we're helpless on our own in any devotional effort, but we need the Lord. We need not just the Lord, we need Lord Caitanya. Can everybody say, Gauranga! Gauranga! Nityananda! So we can follow or pray to follow in the footsteps of Advaita Acharya and pray to be inspired. Just like when I woke up this morning, I was chanting, I was thinking, the quality of our chanting is the exact via medium of how we're going to reciprocate with Krishna, right? Just like Advaita Acharya. Why was he chanting? Why was he calling out the holy names of the Lord? That Lord Chaitanya would come and personally give the prema bhakti to all the living entities. And then I was thinking, wow, that's a big difference. Why I'm chanting right now? I'm chanting so that I can not be a demon or myself. And then I was like, whoa, the quality, just like Krishna says, as those surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So Advaita Acharya is giving the bar of what the quality of chanting, what the intention of our chanting is. And we are praying to Advaita Acharya on this holy day to be infused and inspired by his quality of devotion, and that our chanting may please the Lord, that he may appear in our hearts and in our services. Advaita Gosai Ki. If anybody has anything they'd like to share or questions, reflections. It's a fasting date for those that are able. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu.
Hi, Krishna Prabhu, thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna, thank
I
you.
always feel, you can make anybody Krishna conscious. So may you continue doing so. I was thinking, as Advaita Acharya is the reason for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, he also gave the permission to, leave this world at the age of 48 when he sent a quote to Jagannath Puri saying that it is something like rice and market.
There's no more need for rice in the marketplace.
Because the market is already full of it. And then that was that was like when I called you, I asked you to appear, it was because people are not enough Krishna conscious. Now everybody, the village is turned into Krishna conscious people, devotees. And now, you can retire. And then that I was also thinking he brought him and he also gave the permission to, he let go Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, it's amazing how like how they say it takes a village, to raise a child takes a village. So look at how many different forms of the Lord are doing their thing to bring the souls back. Advaita Acharya, Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya, all of his Shaktavesh avatars as well.
And recently we had Vishnu Priya Devi's appearance also. She too, had to let go. Sachi Mata, they all took so much.
That was appearance day on Vasham Panchami?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So she starts it all. She starts off the festival season, it looks like.
So much. Everybody.
Yeah, Vishnu Priya, the eternal consort. Yeah, I wanted to say that. Yeah, now it starts the festival season. Advaita Acharya, or Vishnu Priya, like Mataji's saying, then Advaita Acharya, then in 1 week, Nityananda Trayodasi, then Lord Chaitanya, Gadadhar Pandit will come up somewhere in there. I mean, every day is a festival in Krishna consciousness. Come to the temple.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that as you were saying about Prabhupada and, so many people to take us back to Godhead, I was hearing this class, Maharaj, Indra Maharaj, he gave it in 2020. This was regarding on Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Amazing class, all of us should hear. And Maharaj, towards the end, when he was saying how many people sacrifice so much for us to become Krishna conscious, and he was like, one of the rarest, when Maharaj was getting so emotional, he was into tears and again was continuing. So I was thinking the same thing as you were saying, that so much of endeavor for us to go back to Godhead. Thank you so much for the beautiful class, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Yeah, everybody's giving and giving. It's like sometimes I've heard it said that what is our qualification to receive the unlimited gifts of Krishna consciousness. And it's just, in one sense, it's explained just to accept it. What's your qualification to accept a gift? Ajay, what's your qualification if I give you this? That you want to accept it, that you just take it. So that's just to want it. The thing is, we don't want it so much. Krishna consciousness is getting, we in one, like you were saying in your class yesterday, we have to pray to pray. Is that what you're saying? Desire to desire. Yeah, so that we have to realize, okay, I don't really, like in the first one of the purports of the Bhagavatam, it says that Lord Caitanya, I'm on a roll with Lord Caitanya, that Krishna wants to bring us back more than we desire to the spiritual world.